Hello. Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I am your meteorologist for the evening, Cloud Hudson, and I will be bringing you today's top stories from the weather, from um let's see. Close that tab. Yes, okay, so where to begin? Today's episode is going to be another ASMR episode because I am once again trying not to wake up my roommates slash parents upstairs. They work in the morning and I work late in the evening. So I've got to be very respectful and quiet while I am working on this show. The work that I did this evening, I was the lighting designer for our local tour stop of the Cowboy Junkies tour. Cowboy Junkies are a very good band. I just discovered them tonight, and I absolutely love them. Very, very good vibes. They actually opened for Mitski recently, so that's pretty fun. They're a good old Canadian band from late 80s, early 90s. Just like me, except I'm not Canadian, but I am from the early 90s. I'm from 1993. What's your favorite thing to come out of the year 1993? Was it the blizzard of 93? Was it Stone Butch Blues by Les Feinberg? Was it something by Nirvana? Was it something fad toy related? Anyway, I was born in 1993, and Cowboy Junkies is a great band, and I got to do lights for them, so I was home late tonight. So thank you all to all of you out there who have figured out that this stream does go on whenever. Absolutely whenever. So let's go ahead and start talking about what we got on this stream for. Go to, we're not going to go there yet. Let's start by going to our volcano news. As you can see, global seismic activity level on April 15th was high. This is probably the highest we've been since, few days ago. But this is a pretty big one. You can see these peaks, these trends. It's almost like it's cyclical. It's almost like there's several different waveforms that are stacked on top of each other. Like there's the one that peaks, these higher ones. There's ones that peak here. There's also ones that peak in here and here. I think the frequency of each of these days is pretty periodic looking. All right. Let's go into our, can I click on this? No. Okay, so the volcano report for Monday, April 15th, 2024 is in Bardabunga, that is in Iceland, a different area of Iceland than is currently erupting. Bardabunga showed 9 quakes today, and down in the Phlegraean fields at Campi Flegrei in Italy, near Pompeii, there were 4 quakes, and then there's already been 7 more on since we passed the date line. So activity is ramping up in the Phlegraean fields. We've seen Mount Ibu continue to erupt. Same with Fuego, Tucono, and Santiaguito has had sporadic emissions. But can we click on this? Let me go up to, Campi Flegrei, 7 quakes since the date line passed, 1 at Etna. No, there's a good picture of Mount Ibu. Let's go ahead and look at it. It looked like Halhamera had above normal activity. This is a good image of Ibeco. Look at those velvety clouds. Look at those velvety strato-type cumuliform clouds. Oh, here's a gorgeous image of Lewatobi. This is the Laki Laki crater on Lewatobi. That is a beautiful time lapse. You can see the stars in the background and the little fire at night. And doesn't tonight feel like just a little bit more fire at night? Cool, but burning. It's like the opposite of icy hot. I don't know. It's like icy hot, but it's like hot ice. Ibeco continues to erupt, as we see here. Mount Ibu continues its explosive activity. Let's see, where is this? It's not going to tell us where that is. Continued explosion at Lewatobi. Lewatolo also has explosive activity. Same with Samiru and Ducono. Fernandina continues to advance, though it seems to have slowed down a bit due to lesser amount of gas steam emission. Oh, that's what this image is. This is an image of Fernandina, and we're seeing the lays, which is, of course, lava haze, lava created haze. That's called laze, Laze, and it is the evaporation of seawater when in contact with lava. We can see by the decreased amount of lays here that the flow from Fernandina into the ocean has slowed down. Santiaguito continues to explode. Same with Mount Fuego. We've also got Nevada de la Reese, Sabancaya, Ventador, all continuing to explode. Let's take a look at, did I look at, that's the wrong one. Let's see. Let's take a look at the Reykjanes Peninsula right now, because it looks like we've had after last night's little earthquake swarm all over the place. Let's see if they've issued a new update yet. No new updates. Seemed like volcanoes today might have had an update. Thought that they showed something on this one. That there was a reykjanes update. Looks like all we've got is, okay. Hazard assessment remains unchanged and is valid until 1500 on April 16th, so we should be getting an update soon. The gas emissions are what people are still looking at. We're going on a month strong for this eruption. It has currently been, now that it's past the international dateline, it's been erupting for a full month now. Yeah. We're looking at, let's look at the earthquakes, all regions. Yeah, I had a feeling. Okay, this is Bardabunga is where we had the higher ones. I just know it. I swear I saw something on volcanoes today that said, had an update. There we go. That's it. April 14th, a sequence of minor earthquakes commenced at Lagefell, situated just northwest of Grindavik. The activity mostly subsided by around 4:30 p.m. yesterday. Approximately 90 tremors occurred, with the peak activity observed between 1 and 2 p.m., when 35 earthquakes were detected. All recorded earthquakes registered under a 1, most occurring at depths of 2 to 4 kilometers. The series of seismic events is likely a result of crustal tension changes linked to the ongoing landslide in Svartseng, as reported in yesterday's news. Okay, well, I wish I could find that. Story listing, but it's nowhere to be found. But anyway, there is lots of deformation going on. Let's just take a look at the deformation data really quick. The GPS data. I'm just gonna whisper it. We're not even gonna take time to try to analyze this data. I just want to take a look at it. Just want to take a look and see if I can see an area where it looks like there's a landslide. I don't know where the landslide would be. Where the landslide brought you down. But, yeah, we are. I'm not seeing that. That's fine. Let's take a look now at our earthquakes. All right. We're going now to take a look at earthquakes. So first of all, we've got a 5.9 in the volcano islands of Japan. That's at 8 kilometers depth. With a 5.0 out here in, 4.8 out here in Indonesia. Got actually a string of 4s and 5s just all over the Western Pacific. Man, that's... If I take it down to just 5s, then you can see here we've got 4s. Let me put them all on there. Okay, so this is not even wanting to load all of the quakes. Let's do 4 and over. These are just our earthquakes that have been over 4 today. That's not right. Hold on. Make sure that I've got since yesterday. Okay. This is since 24 hours ago. This is since like 30 hours ago. So we see that string of 4.9s. Yeah, no, that was the week. Okay, this date slider just likes to slip, and I don't know why. I don't know why the date slider doesn't like me. Okay. So here is just our 4s and greater from the past day. Got one in Guatemala, Ecuador, El Salvador, Chile. We're looking at in Greece, we had a 4.3 and a 4.7, 4.6 and a 4.9 here in China, 5.9 off the southern coast of Japan in the volcano islands. Looks like the biggest, and that was 8 kilometers depth, so that wasn't that far down. We also had a 4.9 here in the Marianas Trench area. 4.8, 4.8. Okay, every time I'm looking here, it wants to mess up my data. Okay. 4.5, 4.5, 5.4 here in Papua New Guinea. Actually, 6.5 was, well, that was back on the 14th. My date slider is messing up again. Okay, 4.5, that was from yesterday. 4.6 out here in the Aleutian Islands. 1.5 in Alaska. And now that we're getting to America, I'm going to put on our minor quakes just so that we can see how many daily 2 and greater quakes there are. And if I go even low, like, look at how there's only... Okay, I'm not going to talk about that. Interestingly enough, these are at all depths. We've got a cluster here on the border of here in the Canadian Rockies and the American Rockies. We've got 4.1 up here in Canada, but we also had a 3.5 and a 2.5 and a 2.6. Well, this is getting into the American territories now, into the colonies. Here in Texas, we've got quite the widespread amount of earthquakes. And we've also got more earthquakes in Tennessee and New Jersey today. This 1.1, is in an area where we were looking for some severe weather today in Oklahoma, just near Tulsa. Now, that is, we were looking for severe weather today, and I don't say that we found it because, oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong. Did I never change to earthquakes? Guys, I think I just updated you with earthquakes and I never changed it on my OBS. I'm so sorry. All right, well, that's embarrassing. It's also a little embarrassing that I never remembered to switch from my face to my image. So I'm going to do that right now. I worked a 12-hour day today. I had a long day. I used a lot of brain cells already. Give me just a little bit of a break. Okay. So, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, you can see this nice little path from Canada down into Texas, into the heartland. I think this is in the New Madrid seismic zone. But yeah, these areas we're looking at lots of earthquakes today. Oh yeah, we're going off down here in Bolivia, Peru, and Chile and Argentina. This whole little armpit or like lower back pop out pucker of South America is really rocking. This area is really rocking. And remember, we had a really deep quake here yesterday, so that makes sense. Oh, we've accidentally gone back out to a week again. Okay. Let's see. I think that's all I wanted to update on earthquakes, though it is notable that we've got, once again, some here in the breaking wave shaped area of the earth. Okay, now that I remembered to change my view, I'm actually going to go from earthquakes to atmosphere. So we are looking at let's play this again. Let's see, we're looking at radar out here in Kansas. Hello, there we go. Okay, so this was an isolated cell that we were watching, and it kind of cycled back into the frontal boundary here. Now we've got a severe thunderstorm warning for the line that goes with that, looking at possible hail and severe high winds, lots of thunder and lightning, very electrically active storm up here as we get into Grove City and Wakini. And yeah, I had a feeling this would cycle back in to the front. Let's take a look at the specific differential for a second. No, I want to go to differential refractivity. Yes. Let's see. This is where you can really see the juicy storms. See, this is where this little nest. So, okay, so I didn't talk about why today was a bust for severe weather. Allegedly, there was a 10% hatched risk of severe thunderstorms, of tornadoes. There's a lot of different products that the Storm Prediction Center, so the SPC, it's the SPC, puts out every day for several days in advance. They usually don't have to put out they usually don't warn for any severe weather several days out. They just predict that there is no prediction, and that's part of it. But this was a day in which there was a prediction 6 days out this time last week. They were already saying Monday of next week is going to be big. But we kind of missed the boat with that, I think, by one day. It looks like tomorrow is going to be a much more severe, like active severe weather day. And tonight was kind of just the setup. So they were like one day early. I would say they shot their wad just a little early. But that's not the only reason that this Kansas region isn't the only region where we are seeing some severe weather tonight. Yeah, I mean, this cell looks gnarly too. Look at that out front. This is where the energy from this other cell went. The energy from this dying supercell, I can tell you, it went from swirling this way to swirling up back into the cloud. And it went back into a new little cutoff cell here in Norton. Let's take a look at its velocity. Oh, it's not really showing up as a big difference in velocities. Kind of hard to see from Dodge City. This is the worst angle you could get on there. Let's see. Look at that though. Isn't it so fun to see the ripples? Ripples in the boundaries. Okay. Let's go to what's happening out here in Des Moines. It's happening out here in Iowa. What about Nebraska? Yeah, that's what we need. Okay. So here in Nebraska, we've got some pretty intense severe weather happening. Here in Norfolk and West Point and Sioux City, Iowa, Sioux City, Nebraska. I don't know which is which. I know it belongs to the Sioux people, and that's all the only borders I respect. Alright, we've got lots of some really high DBC here. That means that these are some very shiny storms. Very reflective. Let's see what our velocities are looking like. It's a little hard to get that product all the way out here. Velocity is also something kind of hard to see differences in. Hard to see differences in when you are so far out because it's coming from a direction. It's a directional thing. And when you are, when the storm is moving in the same direction as the line perpendicular between basically when it looks like the storm is radiating out from the radar, everything the radar is trying to read is moving in the same direction, so it's hard to get a read on direction because they all look like they're going away, so it's like hard to get a comparative. Like a couple like where they're little, where it looks like a spin, but it's a little harder to read a spin on this. Let's go to Yeah, we're definitely looking at some big old hail up there. Let's go to specific differential. We're going to take a look at the specific differential now. All right. Yeah. That's very interesting. Doesn't give me a really good read on this at all. What if I go from Des Moines? Ugh. Sucks too. If only Omaha worked out of commission, but as you can see, this message from the operator, since the storm is passing by there, we can't really get a good read on it from this direction. We kind of have a radar hole, but only because that station is out. Yeah, looking at this correlation coefficient, it is very hard to see past this area because most things this is getting back are just, it's impenetrable from this direction. Just a very bad angle to be looking from this radar site at this storm because it looks radial from it. Let's see if this has got anything better. No, not at all. Not at all. Let's go back to looking at reflectivity. Let's see. So there's also there's a I don't know why, but the earthquake 3D volume is incredibly high in my headphones. Okay, let's go back to talking about. Hello to my one viewer. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go back to talking about the severe weather here in the upper plains, in the northern plains, I should say. Here in Nebraska, we are using KLNX. This looks like it's at Thedford, so I don't know what the LNX means. Maybe it is a college there that I can't remember. Let's take a look. So if I zoom out about here, I think this is a good area to show us pretty much everything we're looking for. The storm going from Kansas into Nebraska is looking a little spicy. We've also got some considerable energy over here near Sioux City. And all the way following this is really the frontal boundary right here. Okay, are we gonna play? Are we gonna play or not? Do we just not want to load for me? Is that it? Okay, I'm going to close Earthquake 3D and hope that my computer likes me more after that. I'm also going to close this and this. So perhaps you can show me. Excuse me. What's wrong? Alright, well, I am not sure why Radar Omega has started having an upset tummy. Why Radar Omega does not like me anymore. Maybe I don't want to have to restart it. Oh my god. Okay, well, I'll just tell you that maybe if I go to him. Okay, for some reason I can't do site by site, but I can do this. So this is our frontal boundary, and you'll see all the way from South Dakota through Nebraska into Kansas. There's this big line of breakout squall lines. There's the first frontal boundary here and the second one right here. And we've got lots of individual spicy swirly cells. This looks like a double helix of DNA. Can you see it? Can you see how this storm here looks like a spiral going this way? It looks like a slinky on its side, like stretched out. It's doing the spring thing, the spring circle thing. It's going boing, 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 boing. Do you see it? Do you see the little, it's going, it's going counterclockwise as it goes through. So, this to me shows, can y'all see that? Can y'all see this motion as it's going like this? That's the motion of everything. That's the motion of everything, is that twisty, spirally motion like that torsion. Can y'all see how beautiful this is? I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. It's going like this. It's like, it's half a DNA coil. It's a spring, it's a funnel, it's angular momentum forwards from the south to north. This is how heat goes from our equator to our poles, is these little tubey, jet, springy things, these storms. Now, it may have been a bust for boring people who can't talk about severe weather unless there's a tornado, but for interesting and interested parties, there is something in this beautiful, gorgeous cosmic weather that can keep you enthralled and entranced and enraptured for hours on end, just looking at the sheer grace, beauty, majesty of seeing the coil shape. Do you not see the coil, the dragon, the big thundering dragon in the sky? These storms are like a air and water dragon in the sky. And you can even see these boundaries on the edges. There's big shapes. This is a big worm. Oh man, it's so gorgeous. Take my breath away, sky. You really do. I know I'm a cloud talking to the sky, but now you see it everywhere, don't you? This is the center of low circulation. This is yet another springy, coily motion. And here we have all kinds of interference patterns and smaller and larger versions of these coils. You see the waves, you see the spirals, You see curves and spirals. I don't know how to narrate the weather to you other than showing you like the ways that they spin. Can't you imagine this right here as a spinning top? Do you see that? Storms don't just spin in the z-axis, they also spin in the y-axis. They also spin in the xy plane. They don't just rotate in the vertical plane. There's also these beautiful clouds that roll like an ocean wave breaking. It's breathtaking. Can you not see it here? There's another little spiral, and there's another little spiral trying to form west of West Point. This one's rotating. This one's just kind of going on its axis that way. Oh man, if I could only tell you how I wish there was a layer on different weather models that would tell you longitudinal rotation, longitudinal storm relative rotation. That would be, or like give me an option to see like where these tops are spinning in which directions. Because you see this one spinning that way. This one is going that way. This one is going that way. They're not all funneling energy into the same directions. And it's just so, I'm sorry, in addition to being so beautiful, it's really neat to see. Okay, and see, now you've seen this whole spiral go through its thing, and this guy just popped off. This guy in Norton just popped off, and so it's going to do its own little oscillation here. Probably try to spin something up, but won't have much feeding it. We've got a few isolated cells down here in Oklahoma now. Some stuff trying to growl its way into being overnight here, just west of Oklahoma City, north and west of Tulsa, north and east of Tulsa, excuse me. We've got here in Independence, Kansas, something trying to make a name for itself, something headed towards Wichita, Kansas. And mind you, some of this is in areas that have been warned for extreme fire risks today. We are starting to get into the pollinating season, the drying season for some things, the hot and windy season. This is going to be a time when wildfires start happening again in the summer pretty soon. There's also already one raging in Spain right now. So really, it's quite a stark contrast between forecast and reality when you see how like big of a difference it makes just a few 100 miles, whether you're in an extreme fire risk or extreme, honestly, flooding risk. These two areas, they line up. Okay, anyway. Let's see. This one's going to spin off on its own. I just know. Here in Rapid City is where we've got the center, the low center of rotation. That one's capable of producing some hail. This one definitely is capable of producing hail and some large winds. I think it's this one that's a spinner, like a top spinner. That one is looking haily to me. Let's see if any of these. Oh, I don't have velocity on this because I'm not doing. Okay, well, I probably need to move on with the update tonight, but it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous time to watch the weather. Okay, let's go back to my, we're going back to the browser because we're going to continue with this weather update. We've got, I've got up on the screen now the Schumann resonance data out of Tomsk, Russia. This is showing the incredibly high amount of energy was exchanged between the ionosphere and the Earth's surface today. There was a really high transfer of power between yesterday was ginormous, but really today also was quite the banger at the beginning and the end. Wherever you were about honestly 12 hours ago into honestly whatever you did yesterday afternoon into evening and whatever you did around midnight last night, and then everything in between was big bursts of power that was aligned with what's coming in from outer space. And what has charged up our radiation belts from outer space recently. There's also some interesting blips here. Blip again. Here in the first and fourth mode, or really sub-first mode, and around fourth-ish mode of the Schumann resonances. Usually this is what they more typically look like. This is what they've looked like the past 2 days. This little blip is interesting and maybe to me signals some sort of, I know earthquakes have a signature like that, but I'm not the expert. I'm just here telling you what it was wow, quite the increase in power. Speaking of power, let's look at the amplitudes. Yeah, so around 12 hours ago, 4 hours ago, whatever we were doing, we had a big jump in energy. And also around midnight last night, there's some really interesting patterns here. Yeah, so that is what we're looking like on the Schumann resonances. Also, the frequencies seem to overall have gone up. So we are raising the vibration a little right now. Speaking of raising vibration, here on our solar weather, we have gone, we've gone a long time only having M classes maybe once a day, every few days, to we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 to 5 different M class flares today. So that is a very large increase in X-ray flux from the sun to our planet. The highest we got was an M4.02. That was, that was at 1930, and we're currently at, well, we're well into the next day. But wherever you were at 1930 UTC, that was our highest one. And then we also had a pretty long sustained one around 1410. So these are all things that could put us into the R1, R2 space weather radio blackout range. It looks like a lot of them are coming from this region. 3639, which is actually, I believe, one of our old regions that survived its trip around the sun. It's, just like we have a lunar month, the sun kind of has its own month of what it does facing the earth. It fully rotates roughly in like the weeks to months scales. It's not always as regular, but yeah, 36, 39 is looking pretty good to me. Let's take a look at our real-time solar activity. So that's 3639 is up here, this region. Let's see. And it is our only beta gamma type at this time. Still don't have any seeming elevation in proton flux. We did have active geomagnetic conditions. A KP threshold of 4 reached around midnight UTC. That was right after that solar flare. Let's take a look at the auroral oval. Okay, so if you are in Canada tonight and you are not getting any severe weather, you might be able to see the aurora. So I would be hopeful. We do have a very strong southward interplanetary magnetic field component, and that means that the energy from the sun is going to couple nicely with the Earth's magnetic poles, because opposites attract. And like that's the thing you want with the orientation of the north-south charges of the, well, not charges, but the magnetic orientation and strength, and it's pretty strong too. So I am hopeful that we got some aurora out of Canada today. Tonight might have been a great night for that. Let's see how our KP index has been. Yeah, it's only been increasing today. So hopefully, yeah, it peaked around midnight. So hopefully we've got a pretty good, this might be a good chance for those who like, let's take a look at the INLO and see if we've got any forecasts. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Wow. That is looking to hit us right around 18th, 19th. So this weekend, guys, look out. Oh, buddy, look at this big honker. that is getting into readings that I personally haven't seen since I started observing space weather. That looks like the biggest 1-2 punch I've seen in a while. So this looks like we're gonna get some real good impacts on the 19th and 20th. Yeah, that's looking like the 18th into the 19th. Looks like an Earth impact around, the 18th. So, oh my gosh, Wednesday, y'all. Wednesday is gonna be big. That's really exciting. I can't wait. And look at these powerhouses of sunspot complexes. I mean, geez, how are these even different complexes? I'd say these are similar regions. But let's take a look at a video. Let's do a video of the 193 angstroms. Alright. Oh, there was a little ejection there. I wonder if that's what got modeled, because that was very Earth directed. And there was another little burp, little spit up burp. Little connections. Here's some coronal hole area, giving us a big blast of solar wind after that. I bet this up here was what got modeled as, that little lasso, that little whoosh. That was it. Pew. 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 Yeah, I'm sure that was what got modeled. And then this little guy over here being sassy, this spitting up, and then this hole and bright regions right behind it. Yeah, this is looking juicy. This is a juicy sun. I don't know why the composite one is always so bleh. Why are you so jerky? Why are you a jerk? Doesn't want to show me the good stuff. Alright, let's look at Soho. Take a look at our corona. Beautiful sun occulter in the way so that we can see. Phew, that's that big old launch. You can do it. Oh, I did get to see that one. I didn't tell y'all. This wouldn't load yesterday, but this was the coronal mass ejection with the halo coming out of left field there. Really beautiful. And these were our today's. Not much to write home about. Oh, that one was pretty cool. You see it arcing out on both sides. That's interesting. Yeah, only 3 coronal mass ejections today, but they were all pretty fun shapes. Alright, so we go from coronal mass ejections to talking about our solar weather to talking about our planetary weather. So today, as you can see, the moon is opposite Pluto. That makes for somebody with lots of tension related to abstractness and chaos and the void and the nurturing nature of not knowing things. This is something that is very uncomfortable, learning from being vulnerable and not knowing what to do. This is someone who needs to be in power, and that is the feeling right now. Is people are feeling very threatened and having their power feeling threatened, just because they're being challenged to show some vulnerability. And vulnerability, while it does put you at risk, is what makes life worth living. And if you can't find your power in the vulnerability, then why are you even looking for power? What do you need power for if it's not to make a life that's worth dwelling in? That's my 2 cents on Pluto opposite Moon. Now, this is for the next 20 years, we're going to be having Pluto oppositions happen in Leo. So all of our Pluto opposite moon things are going to be a Leo moon. So it's extra going to have to do with your performativity and the way you present yourself in the world and your childlike wonder and love of not only performing but of creating. Just the act of creation and the pride you take in the work that you do. That's gonna be challenged by where Pluto is right now, which is really taking away from our egoic attachment to the products we create, and trying to get you to depersonalize your function as a creator and not just get all, not like finding self-worth not just through your creations but also who you are. And I feel like that's what the square here, or the it's kind of wanting to, this is technically within 5 degrees of squaring the sun, so I'll say that this is roughly squaring the last degree of Aries. I think that our solution to losing the pride in the things we create individually are going to be found in valuing yourself more, and still taking pride in what you do and what you create, but knowing that that is not what makes yourself valuable. Yourself is valuable for being yourself and not because of what you create. Leo, creativity, performance, birth, childbirth, not childbirth, but like the gestation, pregnancy, fertility, kids, like your progeny, your baby. What is your baby? Cancer is the mother, Leo is your baby. Like, what can you find like that doesn't have to be where you get your ego from. You can find yourself in your knowledge of who you are. That's Aries. And we've got Aries Venus right there giving us a really beautiful example of what all of this could mean. We've got Venus moving ever closer to conjoining well, Mercury and Chiron are exactly conjunct right now at 19 degrees of Aries. Venus is headed that way soon, but first she will join the North Node in Aries, which is our eclipse point. And we've also got still Mars moving swiftly through Pisces between Saturn and Neptune. And we are days away from the much anticipated Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus, starting off our Taurus season. So this is going to be a really fun 420. And by really fun, I mean quite eventful. That's all I mean. Not like fun, like good, but like very eventful. This is going to be a big one. This is going to be the Taurus season of all Taurus seasons. Okay, we're in a moon day, but I think we're in a moon hour. No, we are in a Mars day in a Mars hour now. I think when I loaded that page, we were in a moon day on a Jupiter hour, but we are now in a Mars day. Mars hour. Oh yeah, we're already at Tuesday again. Holy guacamole, we're already at Tuesday again. Yeah, with that, I think I have talked quite a bit for the amount of tired I am, and I also kind of messed up the video a little bit when I forgot to switch my OBS inputs. So I'm gonna get going soon. Man, I'm honestly just gonna get going and continue watching the pretty swirls, watching the pretty the beautiful severe weather out here. Alright, let me pull a card for you. We gotta get the cosmic weather after all. Alright, with all these Schumann resonances coming in and all this solar activity, all this earthquake activity, all this increasing weather lining up to be something very eventful. What is the cosmic energy coming in right now? What is the cosmic energy from the actual waves and planets and vibes, and not just anything other? What is meant to be coming in here for the highest and greatest good of everything? What is the cosmic weather beyond telescopes and planets and things that we really feel are relevant to watch? What is the cosmic weather? Okay. This is the card I envision more and act less. and it has a lovely person sitting in a dark blue field background. It's blue 5-petaled flowers all around. It says, I envision more and act less. I'm going to whisper the reading for you. Okay. As you take time to find images in your mind that are pleasing, you will more often achieve vibrational alignment with all things that you desire. From that alignment, you will experience more inspired ideas and assistance from others. Inspired action is very satisfying and extremely productive. I'm going to say that one again. As you take the time to find images in your mind that are pleasing, you will more often achieve vibrational alignment with all things that you desire. From that alignment, you will experience more inspired ideas and assistance from others. Inspired action is very satisfying and extremely productive. All right, my lovelies. I hope you all have a very lovely evening. Try to feel warm and cozy. It is hard out there to find things to feel warm and cozy about. But try to envision more warmth in the world, and it will be here. At least in your mind. And your mind is here, so you're technically bringing more warmth into the world by bringing it into your mind. So, yeah. I love you all very much. Have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow.